Hello, welcome to our workout. Today you need a pair of medium dumbbells. I have 10s and a medium resistance band. So we're actually going to be using the resistance band for the upper body. So as long as you can do things like lat pull downs, forward press pull aparts, some little pulsing here. So grab a medium resistance band. Also, if you do not have a resistance band, that's okay. You can do that whole section body weight. I actually am teaching a live class later today where we're going to do very similar moves, but it's a whole body weight class. So that is also super effective, just going to be a little bit harder if you do have a band. So let's get you warmed up and then we'll get into it. We're going to start with some ski steps. So we'll just take little steps side to side, arms go up as you step, down as you bend into a little demi squat, waking up the body, loosening up those muscles. Today we're going to do a ton of hamstrings and back, little bit of shoulders. Let's do some arm circles, big circles backwards. Whew. I did a chest and triceps workout yesterday and I am feeling it. So we do have a set of push-ups and dive bomber push-ups today. So that's going to be fun for me. Let's do open and hug. Alternate which arm hugs on top. Stretch out your chest and your back. A mat would also be useful. We are going to be on our knees for a few moves. Let's do some side bends and twists. Side bend each way, and then a twist each way, rotating the upper body. Side bend, twist, and twist. Take your time, make sure you're getting that full range of motion on your side bends, stretching out those obliques. In 3, 2, 1, let's do curtsy lunges. Cross it back, drive that knee up, switch sides. So just kind of waking up the glutes and the hips. Most of the low body stuff is hamstring focused, but there is going to be a little bit of glute activation in there. Obviously, we work the hips at the same time, especially when we're hinging for those hamstring moves. In 3, 2, 1, side lunges, nice and wide. It's like pretty dark and grainy here. I don't know what the heck the issue is with the weather. I guess it's consistent at least, but I always record these on Tuesday. That's the day that I have childcare. And so it tends to always be raining on Tuesdays, always dark and rainy. And kick toes. Those of you who also live in PEI will know what I'm talking about. Today is a very rainy day. So try to keep that leg nice and straight. If you can't tap, that's totally fine. Just lift that leg up so you get a hamstring stretch. Let's do death march. So stagger, one foot in front, hinge at the hips, come down, tap the foot or as close as you can get, keeping good form. And if you want to make it harder, you're just going to lift that toe off, give you a bigger hamstring stretch. 3, 2, 1. Let's find a bottom squat and then let's rock to our hamstring stretch. So we're just going back and forth, bottom squat, hello to the hips, hamstring stretch, hello to the hamstrings. Nice and slow, making sure we're hitting both positions. 3, 2, 1, squats. So just up and down, regular squats, sitting back on your heels, dropping your butt, getting low. See if you can squeeze in a few more, then we'll go into some butt kicks. In 3, 2, 1, butt kicks, heels to your butt. You can jog if you want to go high impact. As you guys know, if you've been doing the other workouts, I'm prego. So I'm getting closer to the 3rd trimester. So I'm rocking low impact. And quad stretch. Grab your foot, bring it up to your butt, 2 or 3 seconds, then switch. We'll keep switching, finding our balance, finding that stretch. In 3, 2, 1, inchworm. So we're just going to touch the toes, walk forward to a plank, and then walk back into the toes, stand it up, do it all again. Nice hamstring stretch. Hello to the abs and the upper body. From this one, we're gonna stay down there in a plank and we're gonna go into plank, deep lunge and reach. So when you get there, big step forward, twisting reach towards the front leg, and back to your plank, over to the other side. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Dropping the hips, big rotation. From this one, let's go downward dog, plank, T opens. So push back to downward dog, feel that stretch, pull through to your plank, T opens right and left. Downward dog, plank, T opens right and left. Make sure you're rotating all the way into those T opens. And from this one, let's go right into cat to cow. So hands and knees, we're gonna arch the back, look at the ceiling, round the back, look at your legs. Nice and slow, waking up that back. And let's do child's pose to cobra. So sit back, take a breath there, enjoy that stretch, and then pull through, drop your hips, drop your shoulders, look up at the ceiling, feel that stretch in your abs and your low back. We'll go back and forth again. You want to make it harder, stay close to the floor for the transition, kind of dive under the fence to go into cobra. 3, 2, 1. This time, let's push all the way back to a crouch. 3 pulse hamstring stretch, 3 little pulses. Straighten the legs, stay as close to the floor as you can, and then just come back down and do it again. Last one. And then roll yourself up. All right, so your medium pair of dumbbells, your medium resistance band, you're going to go through whole thing a few times, but the way that we do it each time is going to change. So we are going to start with a squat to good morning. So I want you to find a comfy squat stance. We're gonna hold our weights down in between our legs. So we might wanna be like a little bit wider than shoulders just so we can comfortably place them, and my palms are gonna face in towards each other. Once we do our squat, we're gonna pick our dumbbells up, put them over our shoulders, almost like back further in a back rack position, and we go into a good morning. So the good morning is the one similar to a deadlift where we send the hips back, load the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes to come back up. So that's our combo or pattern. 1 squat, 1 good morning for 45 seconds. We ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's do it. 1 squat, then pick it up, hinge into your good morning. Take your time. We especially don't want to rush that good morning. We want to make sure we're in a good position, gentle bend in the knees, focusing on sending the hips back towards the wall behind you. After this one, I'll go from the side so you can see a little bit better. Remember to keep the back nice and flat, supported with a strong core, squeezing the glutes to help you come back up. Not about how far down you get. We more want to focus on sending the hips backwards, and that's going to naturally drop you. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We are going to do an airplane into a kickstand deadlift, staying on the same leg. So I'm gonna hold both dumbbells, take one leg back into an airplane, coming down as far as I'm comfy. Then when I come back up, I'm just gonna stagger that leg, hinge and stand so the leg is there to support. If that feels like too much, you're gonna do kickstand deadlifts the whole way through. I'll show you a few options. Ready, set, let's go. So stay in the same leg. You don't have to come all the way down. Whatever is comfy for you. 1 airplane deadlift into 1 kickstand deadlift, not alternating legs. Lots of balance involved here. You might even feel a bit of like cramping in your foot from trying to stabilize you. That's normal. Keep going. If that feels like a little bit too much, you can always do the whole thing as a kickstand deadlift, not worrying about the airplane, or you can use 1 dumbbell, the opposite dumbbell to leg, and that helps counterbalance. 3, 2, 1, right into the other side. Same thing, 1 airplane, 1 kickstand. My supporting leg has a gentle bend in it. The form is very similar to doing a Romanian or stiff leg deadlift, like we've done many times before. Just that this back leg is getting all funky, and we're holding the weights to kind of frame that front leg. Now remember, you can adjust the range of motion or the method that you're using to make it work for you. And we don't want to rotate the hips. So that's something that sometimes happens when we're lifting this back leg, is the body kind of wants to rotate to make it easier on you. We want to give the work to the hamstrings. We want to keep the hips forward, rest. Next up, yoga lunges. So just like our plank deep lunge and reach, we do big step back, straighten the front leg, pop the toe off if you can, rebend, stand up and drive that back leg. We're staying on the same side. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Big step back, straighten, rebend, drive. That same leg goes back. Deep lunge, straighten the front leg, rebend it, drive through that leg, bring the back knee up. Keep going, same leg. If you can't come all the way to the floor, that's totally fine. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna shorten the range of motion a little bit. You're gonna go where you're comfy. 15 more seconds, and you can always do these moves body weight if it feels too much to do weighting. 10 more seconds, then we're gonna go right into the other side. In 3, 2, 1, switch legs. Big step back, straighten, rebend, and drive. You wanna put all that weight onto that front leg as we drive through that back knee. That way we'll feel the glutes starting to work with us. And I want you to take a big enough step back in that deep lunge that your body naturally drops down to the floor as close as you can drop. Take your time, feel every part of this move. It's a tough one. It's got a lot of pieces to it. We're almost there. 10 seconds. Lots of balance, lots of hamstrings, lots of glutes. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, okay, we're coming down to the floor. We're gonna do push-ups for 30 seconds, right into lat pull-downs with your band. So make sure your band is handy. Push-ups on your toes or your knees, hands under your shoulders, elbows coming back to a 45-degree angle, hips traveling with the upper body. 3, 2, 1, let's go push-ups. Down and up, feeling the chest, feeling the back, little bit of the shoulders, the abs. Keep that core tight. Breathe through it. 15 seconds down, 15 to go. In 10 seconds, we're gonna grab that band. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Grab your band, put it on just above your wrists, shoulders down and back. Take that band behind your head, squeeze the elbows and back up. Behind your head, squeeze the elbows and back up. If that feels like too much on your shoulders, you can go in front of the body. You're just gonna get more shoulders than back. 10 seconds. Squeeze that back. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, dive bomber push-up. So we've done this one before. Remember, the hard version is if you were starting in a downward dog position. I'm not even gonna risk demoing that one. Anyone who's modifying with me, we're gonna start in child's pose. We're gonna stay as close to the floor as we can, diving under into cobra, and then dive back under. The back under is the hard part. Ready? Let's go. So stay close to the floor, dive under the fence, then reverse it. Dive back under, staying as close to the floor as you can. So I literally want you to get your chin almost at that floor. Feel your body raise that floor. Keep going. If you're making it harder, start in downward dog. If you're making it easier, stay up a little bit higher. So maybe you're not coming like a centimeter off the floor. Maybe you're coming 5 inches off the floor. And let's go into another banded move. Grab your band right above your wrist. Press it forward. Pull it back. Elbows in, squeeze the back. Press it forward, kind of release the tension, then make that tension happen as we pull it back. Squeezing that upper back. Breathing through it. Round one is a lot of moves thrown at you. You're gonna get better and better as we get through this. We have a few rounds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're gonna flip over. Keep your band close, because again, we have a back-to-back move. We're gonna do a crab or a bridge. So all we're gonna do is hands just comfy behind you, like mine are kind of turned out. We're gonna press up into that bridge or crab and back down so we feel the posterior chain. Ready? Let's go. So drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes, press up and back down. I want you to see if you can get to like a tabletop position where it's kind of straight across from your knees to your shoulders. We should be feeling the back, the glutes, a little bit of the abs. And as soon as we come back down to the floor, we press back up. 8 seconds, then we're gonna grab that band again. We're gonna put it on just above our wrists. 3, 2, 1. You can just sit or kneel right above your wrists. We're gonna do little pulses. We're gonna try to pull it apart as much as we can, then bring it back. Pull it apart as much as we can, bring it back. So you should be feeling the back of your shoulders or that upper back, and we're sitting really upright or we're on our knees really upright, biting that band apart. You'll feel the shoulders, but I want you to find that mind muscle connection with the back as well. My palms are facing in, my thumbs are up to the ceiling. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, okay, so we are going to repeat. We're ready for round 2. You know all the moves now, but this time you're going to do a hamstring move, and then we'll rest for like a quick 15 seconds, and we'll go into one of those upper body pairings. So the push-ups, lat pull down. Then we'll rest for 20 seconds. We'll do another hamstring move. We'll go into another upper body. So this time we get to go lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body. A little bit easier. So first move is our squat into our good morning. We've got 10 seconds. We're gonna grab our weights. We're gonna find our comfy squat stance, a little bit wider than your shoulders so you have space for that with those dumbbells in 3, 2, 1. Give me a squat. Bring it up over the shoulders. Send the hips back. Load those hamstrings. Squeeze the glutes. Come back up. Back to your squat, back to your good morning. Take your time, feel those moves, feel the difference in those moves. We've got the glutes and the quads on the squat, and then we've got the glutes and the hamstrings on the good morning. How's your back doing? No tension in that back, we're working the back, but we wanna feel it in a good way. 15 seconds, then we get a quick rest before we're on the floor. Let those glutes help you out. 7 seconds to go. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Come on down, push-ups, right into our lat pull downs. So you've got 10 seconds. We're gonna shake out those wrists, find your push-up position, toes or knees. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Coming as close to the floor as you can with good form. We want that range of motion. We want that depth. Use that breath to help you. How's that core? Lift up from the pelvic floor, into the back, wrapping those obliques around. Nice, tight, strong core. In 7 seconds, grab your band. Lat pull downs in 5, 3, 2, 1. Grab that band just above the wrists. Elbows down and back. My palms are forward, shoulders are down, core is tight. I'm not arching that back. I'm letting the arms do the work, letting the back do the work. 10 seconds. You should feel the upper back. Get those elbows in tight. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Airplane to our kickstand deadlift is next. So whatever leg you want to start with, 1 weight, 2 weights, body weight, whatever you got. Stay on the same leg for 45 seconds. I think I'm going to do 1 weight this time, and I'll do opposite dumbbell to leg. 3, 2, 1. So we had airplane deadlift into your kickstand deadlift. Find that balance. Find that control, and find that hamstring burn. Remember, if you want to modify, we can take out the airplane deadlift and we can just do kickstand so we have that support and we take the balance element out of it. You can also make it easier or harder by the weight you've chosen, a little bit easier balance-wise if you use one weight, but it's also a little bit harder in the way that you can get more depth. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Sometimes going lighter actually helps you feel it more. So just play around. Why I dropped to the 1. So I'm not focusing so much on the balance. I'm focusing more on the hamstring and the full range of motion in that movement. 20 seconds, then we rest before we come back to the floor for dive bomber push-ups. So we're mainly feeling the hamstrings. You'll be feeling a little bit of the glutes as well. Maybe a little bit of the foot or the calf from stabilizing you. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Onto the floor, dive bomber push-ups. Keep your band handy because we're gonna go into those forward press pull-aparts right after. So starting in child's pose or in downward dog, your choice. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Dive under the fence and then dive back under. If that feels good, keep going. If that feels a little bit too easy, start off in downward dog. If that feels a little bit too hard, stay up a little bit higher and or ignore the backwards. So the hardest part of this is to go back to dive back under. So if that's too much, just reset yourself, dive under, reset yourself. You have options. In 3, 2, 1, grab your band just above your wrists, palms face the floor, pull the elbows back. So when I go forward, I'm releasing that tension. I'm not fighting that band apart, but as soon as I start pulling it back, I'm fighting that band like crazy. Me and this band are in a huge fight. Elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, work that back. 7 seconds, you're doing great. Building that strong back. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Yoga lunges. Next up, so whatever leg you want to start with, we're staying there for 45 seconds, then right into the other side. Same thing, you can use 2 weights, 1 weight, no weights, your call. You can stay higher, you can go to the floor. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Big step back. Straighten, rebend, and drive. Same thing here, like in some ways going to the floor is harder because obviously you have a bigger range of motion. That coming up from the floor is no joke. It's a big distance to travel, but in one way, the way that you get to rest the dumbbells on the floor while you straighten and rebend, that makes it easier than if someone is staying up a little bit higher. So just find what works best for you. What's the range of motion that you're most comfortable with, where you can feel the move the best in the best ways. In 8 seconds, we're going right into the other side. In 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Big step back. Straighten, rebend, and drive. I always say this one out loud to myself, even if I wasn't teaching, I was doing this workout alone. Inside my head, I'd be saying, big step back, straighten, rebend, and drive, because it is a complicated one. A lot of pieces to it. So do what you gotta do to get through it, doing the right move. 15 seconds, then we get to rest. Coming back to that floor. Ooh, I'm getting sweaty. Anybody else? 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Onto the floor. We're doing our crab or our bridge press ups, and then those little pull apart pulses. We still have 7 seconds. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, press up, come back down, right back up, and back down. Stay strong the whole way through. We're almost done in round 2. I think this is actually flying by, even though I'm getting very, very sweaty. 15 seconds down, 15 to go. In 8 seconds, put that band on just above your wrists. In 5, 3, 2, 1, let's go band. Pull aparts, mini pull aparts. So palms face in, spread them, come back. Shoulders are down and back. Try to use that back to open that band up. So visualize your back contracting, flexing, bringing those shoulder blades together, and that's what opens it. And the band should not be light enough that you can like totally open into a side raise, rest. So if it is, that's an indication to up that band. All right, we have one more round, and we're gonna do all the hamstring stuff, back to back, no rest. But then we get a big rest. Oh, also we have kind of a big rest right now. So you can grab a sip of water if you want. Holy, it is downpouring. It's supposed to rain like, I don't know, 15 millimeters or something this morning. Massive. Okay, so hamstrings, all three hamstring moves, back to back to back. We rest. All three body weight back moves, back to back to back. We rest. All three banded back moves, back to back to back. Then we're done. So in 15 seconds, squat to good morning. So take a breath, 10 seconds, and then we're ready to go. Find your squat stance, grab your weights. Last set, best set. In 3, 2, 1. Let's see your squat. Right into your good morning. Make sure those weights are back so they're not pulling you forward. The weight is kind of a little further back. Gotta get everything we can out of these moves before we're done with them. These are only 45-second intervals, and you're already halfway through this one. Now just 20 seconds. Then we're gonna go into an airplane, kickstand deadlift, whatever leg you wanna start with. We still have 12 more seconds here. In 7. In 3, 2, 1, airplane, kickstand deadlift. Take your time, find your balance, find that safe range of motion. The back is flat, the head is in line with the spine. You can feel the hamstring. You're already more than halfway through this leg. Another 18 seconds. Then we'll go into the other leg, and we only have one more move to get through before the hamstrings are done. Legs are done. In 5, 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Same thing on the other leg. Watch that the hip isn't opening, the body isn't trying to rotate those hips. If you are noticing a lot of that, one thing you want to check on is your range of motion. So maybe you're going a little bit too far down. You want to stop like half an inch before that rotation starts happening. Kickstand is very subtle. That back leg is just like on the toe on the walk, there to kind of help support you. 5 seconds, then yoga lunges. In 3, 2, 1, big step back, straighten, rebend, and drive. Stay on the same leg for 45 seconds. Whew. It should burn. It should be tough to get through all 3 moves back to back, no rest. That's the point. So stick with it. We're almost there. In 20 seconds, we're going to switch to the other side. Then we get to rest before we move on to the upper body. In 10, in 7 seconds, right into the other leg. In 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Big step back, straighten, rebend, and drive. This is the home stretch for the legs, okay? Dig deep, stick it with it. We gotta have even legs. You did one side, you can do the other side. I'm right there with you, struggling alongside you. 20 seconds, you're more than halfway through it. Keep pushing for another 15 seconds. That rest is coming. We can see it. We just gotta get there. 10 more seconds of work. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Set those weights off to the side. We're gonna use them in a bit, but not right now. Push-ups, right into dive bomber push-ups, right into crab or bridge press-ups. So this is gonna be no joke. We know those dive bomber push-ups are no joke, and having to do push-ups right into them, dead, just at the thought. But once we get through that, we're done with these moves, okay? So take a deep breath, set yourself up, pace it out so you can get through this interval, modify as needed. You got this. 12 seconds, relax, shake out those wrists, those shoulders. In 7 seconds, push-ups, toes or knees. If you can, I want you to do them on your toes, or at least start on your toes. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Down and up. How's that core? Up and in, I hope. Wrapping those obliques, we're flexed. Can you tap that chest to the floor? Or pretty close to it? Let's get there. 8 seconds, then right into our dive bomber push-ups in 7. And 3, 2, 1. Either downward dog or child's pose, dive under the fence, and then dive back under the fence. Oh, that's the sticky spot right there, diving back under. Come on, dig deep. Third round. We are tired, we are sore, we gotta push through, we gotta find that strength here at the end. In 10 seconds, flip it over for your crab press up. In 5, 3, 2, 1, flip it over, feet on the floor, hands on the floor, press it up. Come back down, tap right back up. The hard part is over, those dive bomber push-ups are done. Let's finish this move. 15 seconds down, 15 to go. Rest is coming. Sweat is coming too. Whew. She's swimming over here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Oh, okay. Love to tell you we're done, but you know, we still have a little bit left. We got our banded moves. We got lat pull downs coming in 30 seconds. You got some time, relax those arms because we've got 3 more moves back to back, okay? Lat pull downs into your forward press pull aparts, into your, or your pullbacks, into your pull apart pulses. So starting, well, the whole time we're gonna have the band just above your wrist, starting with the palms forward on your knees, lat pull down in 3, 2, 1, let's go for it. Shoulders are down and back, core is tight, bringing those elbows down, squeezing that back. You got it. 15 seconds down, 15 to go. Keep the core strong so the back is straight. In 10 seconds, right into our forward press pullbacks. In 7, in 5, oh, my band keeps snapping up. 3, 2, 1, it wants to be done. Palms face the floor, pull it back. So when I press forward, I'm chilling, then I really start to engage as I pull it back. So you get that like split second of nothing. I mean, besides holding your arms up, which feels like enough at this point, but most of the work is coming when we pull those elbows back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. In 7 seconds, palms face in, we've got pull apart pulses or mini pull aparts. 3, 2, 1, palms in, fight it. Ooh, we are so close, guys. Come on, we're not gonna drop it. We're not gonna quit early. 10 seconds down, 20 seconds to go. Use that back. I know the shoulders are giving you a lot right now. Try to engage that back. Way more than halfway through it. You only have 10 seconds to go. Come on, let's get there. In 7, in 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Holy smokes. Whew. That last band thing might have been the absolute worst. All right, we do have a tiny finisher before we stretch, but we're super close. We are going to do medium dumbbells, 3 moves for the upper back. All 3 of these moves happen in a hinged position, so the bent knees, bent over, flat back, head in line with the spine. If your back is bothering you, because that was a lot of hinge work, we're leaning forward a lot, I want you to take a second, stretch it out. I want you to really think about your form in this last section. If you need to, skip to the stretch and skip this finisher. You do that for the sake of your back. But if you're still with me, you're feeling good, you're feeling fresh. 5 minutes, we're done. That's it, okay? So we're gonna do bent over flies. Gentle bend in the elbows, kind of like we're holding a beach ball. We're gonna pull them back, squeezing the shoulder blades together and let them back down. We do that for only 20 seconds. These intervals are short. Then we're gonna go right into 10 seconds of pulses, pulse it up higher, okay? Then we rest. I'm gonna use my 10s. There's a lot of times when I'm doing bent over flies that I would go lighter than this, but I know I can do 10s, so I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm gonna stick with 10s. Stick with your mediums if you can. If you have to drop it down for good form's sake. We ready? Bent over flies in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Bring it up and back down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. That's what I want, lifting the body. I don't just want you throwing those arms up and down. I want it controlled. 7 seconds. Then we do pulses in 3, 2, 1. So pulse it. Oh, yeah, this is pretty heavy for the pulses. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, good news. That was the hardest one that you have. That's why we started with it. And that was the only time you have to do pulses. Now, bent over rows, palms face in, big pull, elbows tight, up and down, and 20 seconds. Then we pulse it again for 10 at the top. This will be easier than the flies. If you did the flies, you're good. 3, 2, 1, big pull. See if you can bring those dumbbells up beside your chest. Elbows nice and tight. Again, using the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Hold on to that core to protect that back. It's a lot of hinging. 5 more seconds of reps, then we pulse at the top. In 3, 2, 1, pulse at the top. Higher, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. In 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. One more in round 1, wide bent over rows, palms back. So this time we're gonna pull nice and wide, kind of like we're like scarecrow arms or like the goalpost. And then we're gonna pulse at the top again. 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, palms back, wide rows. Let's go. We are so close to being done. We're gonna feel so good when this is over. So strong, so accomplished, so sweaty. 5 more seconds, then we pulse at the top. In 3, 2, 1, pulse at the top. Come on, higher, higher, higher. 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Thank goodness, no more pulses, just that same thing. 20 seconds on and a nice big 20 seconds rest, okay? So the only thing that changed this time is a good change. We took away those pulses. 5 seconds and bent over flies. In 3, 2, 1, gentle bend in the elbows, open it up, bring it back down. No tension in the neck or spine. All Gucci. 10 seconds, then we rest. How's that back doing? In 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. 20 seconds, then bent over rows, palms face in. Sip the water over here. Oh, we're putting in work today. 5 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, palms in, regular bent over rows. I am questioning my decision to work chest and triceps yesterday, because it is hard to lift things today. 10 seconds, then we rest. In 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. We know what's coming. One more. Wide bent over rows with the palms back. We still have 15 seconds. So just stand up tall, catch your breath, shake out your arms. In 7 seconds, we're back at it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, palms face back, wide rows. Big pull, elbows getting up nice and high. All about that back. In 7, in 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. Okay, we have one more round. No pulses, but also no rest. Bent over flies into our rows. Oh, and we're also speed. So we're only 15 seconds instead of 20. So we cut a little bit off. A little bit easier. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, bent over flies. Last set, best set. In 10 seconds, we row. In 5, 3, 2, 1, bent over rows. 10 seconds, then wide rows, palms back. In 5, 3, 2, 1, palms back. Almost there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Put those weights down, we'll stretch. All right, let's put those weights away. Let's actually come down on the floor for the start of our stretch. Whew. Let's come onto all fours and let's reach under to the opposite side, dropping the back of the shoulder right into the mat, resting the head, finding that stretch in the back of the shoulder and the upper back and just hanging out, breathing. 5 more seconds, then we'll switch to the other side in 3, 2, 1. Let's switch it. Big reach under. Again, back of the shoulder touches the floor as close as you can get it. You're on your knees, butt just up to the sky. We're gonna hang out for 10 seconds, then we'll go into regular child's pose. Oh, that feels nice. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Sit back into child's pose, and then let's walk both hands over to one side until you can feel that opposite shoulder and that oblique. I'm just gonna stay there, take a nice deep breath. Then walk it over to the other side. Same thing, find that spot where you can feel the opposite shoulder and the oblique. All those push-ups, dive bomber push-ups, crab bridges, all the bent over rows. The shoulders get some work there too, so we'll stretch it out. And then let's come to the center. Just relax into child's pose. Press actively like those hands right into the floor and almost try to pull your body away from the hands and you'll feel a bigger stretch in between the shoulder blades. Let's come up onto all fours, hands and knees. We'll tuck the toes under, reach into downward dog. So reach through those heels. Feel that stretch all along the back of your legs, your calves, your hamstrings. Stretch it out. All those airplanes can be hard on the calves. All those hamstring moves at the beginning. Stay there, deep breath. And then step through into a deep lunge. Front knee bent, back leg straight, trying to focus on dropping the hips towards the floor, reaching through that back heel. And then let's drop that back knee, relax the foot, push forward a little bit. I'm gonna go from the side so you can see me a little bit better. So I'm in like my deepest lunge there, pushing forward. I can feel that hip, that back quad. And from here, let's try to straighten this front leg. I can pop that toe off if that's comfy. Pull yourself in if that's comfy. Just find a spot where you can feel the back of this front leg. Stay there, take a nice deep breath. And with each breath, you're trying to sink a little bit lower into that stretch. And then let's take both knees back. Tuck the toes under, downward dog once again. Reaching through those heels, getting that stretch in your hamstrings and calves again. One deep breath. And then step the other leg forward into your deep lunge. So front knee bent, back leg straight to start, just focusing on dropping the hips towards the floor, reaching through that back heel. And then gently bend that back knee, relax the foot, push forward a little bit, deeper into that stretch, feeling that back hip and quad. All those squats, all those hinges. Stay there for one more deep breath and we'll straighten the front leg and sit back in 3, 2, 1. Straighten it out, pop that toe off if that's comfy, pull yourself in if you can. Ooh, that feels good after all that work. Stay there for a nice deep breath. Let's see if we can get a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then let's take both knees back. This time we'll just push back into a little crouch like we did in the warm-up. Straighten the legs, stay there, give those hamstrings one more big stretch. They worked hard today, you worked hard today. Gentle bend in the knees, and let's slowly roll ourselves up. We are done. Thank you so much for sweating with me. We'll see you in the next one.